Well, I want to welcome everyone. We're so grateful to have you all back this year to Sampling for Hope, the 2021 version, once again in our voids at home. Steve Steger here in the home studio that has become my home since March of last year. I'm sure that you guys have all gotten pretty comfortable with your home as well. I want to thank all the guests who are tuning in right now. And thank you not only for joining us tonight, but for your ongoing support of survivors of domestic violence. I am one of two co-hosts, Steve Steger from 9 News, and my former colleague, and still my friend, Kylie Burse from Channel 31, the morning meteorologist. Kylie is along with us as well.
Hi, Steve. It's so good to be back hosting with you, especially for a cause that we're both so incredibly passionate about. You introduced me to Safehouse about 3 years ago when I started at 9 News, and I'm so grateful because the more that I've learned about the work that they do for survivors, the more I realize how important it is to not only support it, but to give these survivors a voice when it's so difficult to do so. So incredibly grateful to be back here again with you, Steve, with everyone here tonight. I know everyone shares our passion for this incredible organization. Wanted to let you guys know, live auction ends at 6 o'clock tonight. So you have until 6 to get all those last bids in. And remember that all the proceeds tonight will help out survivors of domestic violence right here in our community. So don't feel guilty when you're bidding high on those packages because it's all going to such a great cause. That's what I tell myself, Steve, when I go shopping. I'm like, if it's for a good cause.
Exactly. Yeah, right. This a good friend of mine that I've done some events with, Doug Tisdale, who's an auctioneer, always says, remember, and he says in this big booming voice, it's for charity. Like that's what we all want you to remember, is that as you make your donations tonight, they're going to an awfully important place.
Absolutely. Well, if we were there together right now, we would be on stage, we would bring on a musical guest, but what's cool about kind of the way we've all adjusted this last year is that we can still enjoy it this way too. So we would love to introduce our first musician of the night, Christopher Morse.
Thank you for attending Sampling for Hope. My name is Christopher Morse and I'm honored to be part of this event. The work that Safehouse Denver does with their extended stay program is so important to help people get back on their feet. Please consider donating today. This is a song I wrote called Little Moments. Hope you enjoy. Bell rings, another year gone. Empty locker, time to pass it on. 4 years of anxious, stifled conversation. Can't wait to leave this place, thank God it's graduation. And why am I all choked up when I can't leave here fast enough? It's the little moments when it feels just right. Cold beer, good friends on a Friday night. Little moments when the perfect song comes on the radio after the whole day's gone wrong. Little moments by the lake in July, her head on my shoulder in a diamond night sky. Here's to the moments, the little moments of your life, life. Messy house and a dirty sink, and I can't wait to finally get myself a drink. I work so hard taking care of everyone else. I can't imagine taking time just for myself when you need someone to save the day. An old friend calls you just to say, it's the little moment when it feels just right. Cold beer, good friends on a Friday night. Little moments when the perfect song comes on the radio after the whole day's gone wrong. Little moments by the lake in July, her head on my shoulder in a diamond night sky. Here's to the moments, the little moments of your life. one blink and then they're gone. It's the little moments when it feels just right. Cold beer, good friends on a Friday night. Little moments when the perfect song comes on the radio after the whole day's gone wrong. Little moments by the lake in July. Her head on my shoulder in a diamond night sky. Here's to the moments, the little moments of your life, your life, life, of your life, life, life. It's the little moments, the little moments.
Christopher Morse bringing the heat with the acoustic guitar. The little moments on a Thursday night. He mentioned cold beer. I do have some cold beer here. I hope you have a beverage in your hand as you're watching this live stream. We're so appreciative that all of you are here. And before we get into the heart of tonight's program, we want to take a moment to recognize a good friend and a longtime volunteer for Safehouse Denver, Steve Cruz, whose passion supporting survivors led him to become involved back in 2007. Among other graphic design work, Steve generously donated his talent to create the Sampling for Hope logo we've all become so familiar with. Steve passed away earlier this year, and we honor his memory tonight. We are not the only ones who have been moved to act on behalf of survivors. We want to thank and recognize our top-level sponsors who have really shown their support for the cause this evening. Junk King of Denver, Carol and Paul Rose, Ent Credit Union. I always love to say this one because I get to say it like the commercial. Sloan's Carpet Secret, Hush Hush, Westera Credit Union. And in addition to these wonderful companies and individuals, all of tonight's sponsors stepped up this year to proudly declare to our community that survivors are supported. So we hope you will support their businesses if you can. It's been a hard year. They need all the support that they can get. Special thanks to JSAV providing audio and visual tonight, and Joe Mahoney for creating the wonderful videos that you will see tonight, Kylie.
Yeah, and Steve, even though we're not in person this year, you know that food is still a big part of this event. So we have to spend a moment thanking our incredible restaurant partners who generously donated 10% of their sales over the last few days. That's so huge given the year that we've all had, especially for those restaurants. So Briar Common Eatery and Brewery, Cherry Cricket, Esther's Neighborhood Pub, Sexy Pizza, Stargazer Fine Chocolates and Coffee, Steuben's Uptown, Trattoria Stella, Yours Truly Cupcake. So I want to spend just a quick moment. We've got a little video to learn a little bit more about our amazing restaurant partners this year. Take a look.
Every time you walk through the front door of Briar Common, it is our goal to provide you with an elevated brewery experience. Because we are not your average brewery. Briar Common is proud to be a part of an event that supports survivors of domestic violence and their children.
Hi, I'm Heidi. I'm the GM of the Cherry Cricket and Cherry Creek. This year we're very happy to be helping out Safehouse Denver. We like to contribute to great organizations that help the community.
What's up, fam? I'm Alex, and I'm the brand manager for Esther's. We have 2 Denver locations that are family-friendly and offer something for everyone. Join us for kids' nights, enjoying weekend brunch on the patio, or watching the game with your friends. Our seasonal menus ensure there's always something you'll love, and our list of mostly Colorado craft beers are perfect for those sunny Denver days. We are so grateful to be a part of Safehouse's Sampling for Hope again this year. It has always been one of our favorite events because we believe it's important to support the survivors of domestic violence and their children. We look forward to seeing you there.
Hey guys, my name is David. I work here at Sexy Pizza. We have 4 different branches here in Colorado. We've been in business for about 13 years. We just had our 13th anniversary. Yay us. We definitely love supporting the community and everything. We want you guys to know what we're all about. We make delicious New York style pizza. I consider it the best New York style pizza west of the Mississippi. So if you're an East Coaster, definitely come out and give us a try. But something that we do believe in here in Sexy Pizza is supporting the community. That's why we're really glad to be partnering with Safehouse Denver.
Josh Walcon. I'm the owner of Steuben's here in Uptown Denver, and we are proud and honored to be partnering with Safehouse Denver on their upcoming Sampling for Hope event, which supports victims of domestic violence and their children. If you're not familiar with Secret Sauce Food and Beverage, we operate Steuben's Arvada, and Ace. Philanthropy and community have always been part of our core values. If you're not familiar with Steuben's, regional American favorites, that's what we do best, whether that's fried chicken, Cubanos, cheesesteaks, or my personal favorite being from Boston, our New England Maine lobster roll.
Hi, I'm Chris Colby. I'm the manager of Trattoria Stella. We are a locally owned Italian restaurant. We make everything from scratch, including our pastas and our bread. And we make homemade food 7 days a week. We have 2 locations, one here at City Park and one up in the Highlands. We're proud to work with Safehouse. They do amazing works, and we love doing anything we can to help them.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Rose Goodyear, the owner of Yours Truly Cupcake. Welcome to our shop. Welcome. Here at Yours Truly Cupcake, we truly believe in the value of giving back to our community and doing what we can to support important local organizations such as Safehouse. We're so honored to be a sponsor of this event for 3 years in a row. We really support the mission of Sampling for Hope and its support of victims and survivors. It is an honor to be part of this community. Please come visit us at 3563 Larimer Street in the heart of the Brando neighborhood. We've got a walk-up retail window, and you can also check us out online at yourstrulycupcake.com, and we look forward to sweetening your next event.
I love all of those places. So hopefully you've been able to dine with one of them over the last week or so. But if you haven't had the chance yet, you can still today at Briar Common, Cherry Cricket, or Trattoria Stella. Briar Common is one of my all-time favorites. So is Cherry Cricket. I haven't eaten at Trattoria Stella yet, but now I definitely will, especially knowing, the food looks really great and that they support Safehouse Denver. So definitely something that I'm going to check out. And even though the to-go promotions end today, please still support these restaurants. They've had a really rough year in the restaurant industry. So the more that we can support our local restaurants, the better. And hey, pro tip that, Steve, I actually didn't know this until this past year. You want to order from them directly and pick up if you're doing to go. I didn't realize Grubhub, Uber Eats, they take a huge portion from our local restaurants. If you can, order directly from them and then pick it up a little bit later.
Did a little news story on that last year. Yeah. In fact, there are a lot of restaurants. It's always good to kind of call ahead and ask and see what they prefer, because sometimes they do contract out their deliveries and to go through Uber or those different organizations, but it's just a good idea to see what they want, what would best support them sometimes, just to give them a call. By the way, we should ask you, if you've had anything to eat at any of those restaurants, you want to talk about it, you want to talk about that amazing burger you had at Cherry Cricket. I ordered one at work a couple of weeks ago. On the right side of your screen, just hop into that chat. Let's start talking about this. The chat on the right-hand side. Let us know. What have you had? What's delicious? Have you ever gone to Cherry Cricket and thrown the darts at the dartboard? That's fun.
I haven't done that. That sounds really fun, though.
I saw it on an episode of Man vs. Food. I don't know if they still do it, but Cherry Cricket was one of the first places I went when I first got here 7 years ago because of that episode. And I've always wanted to do that. You throw darts at a dartboard and pick your toppings, and then you kind of go from there. So
I love that idea. Hey, and Steve, another great partner who has supported this event for many years is the Ritz-Carlton Denver. And something cool that they're doing this year, since they weren't able to participate in the to-go promotion this year, executive chef Michael Poompan has created an amazing grilling class for us. Yeah, so all you have to do tonight is donate $30 or higher. You will be sent the ingredient list, as well as a video link. Chef Michael will walk you through each step from sauce creation to grilling tips. You can learn to be a master griller on your own or gather with friends safely. So I love this. And again, only $30 and you get sent all that information. So I think that that's a really, really cool way to see this amazing. I know you're an executive chef on your own accord with the grill, but like how cool to have like another mastermind in the kitchen with you.
The executive chef of the townhouse, although I have another executive chef here, so we kind of share those duties.
I was saying, I feel like Katie might be the real executive chef.
Yeah, Katie's better than me at everything in life. I just
Which,
have
by
to
the way,
admit
we
that.
have to congratulate you, Steve, getting married in what, 8 days and counting?
8 days. Yeah, it is 8 days. Oh my goodness. I've got some stuff I better make sure that is ready to go. There's a lot of stuff to figure out. One thing I will say about that grilling session, how many of you out there are like, I don't need help, I'm an expert griller, right? Like I used to be in that camp, and then I met a few chefs who are really good at grilling things, and they taught me tips and tricks, and I've gotten even better at it. So if you're on the fence about that, you're like, I don't need the assistance from some executive chef. Spend the $30, learn the cool tricks, and you'll absolutely love it. So let's get back to business here. Since June 1st, Safehouse Denver has been amplifying awareness and raising funds for to support survivors of domestic violence who are residents of the extended stay program. This program is a springboard of self-sufficiency for survivors who are out of immediate crisis. Now here, Safehouse Denver provides an opportunity for individuals and families to live safely and independently in 2-bedroom apartments free of charge while they work on their housing goals. These services are only possible thanks to supporters like you. So tonight we're going to try to continue to raise some critical funds. To date, get this, Safehouse Denver has raised an incredible, Kylie, can I get a drum roll? Is your microphone still up? Can you do a drum roll on the counter in the kitchen?
But I'm making the drum roll.
There you go, drum roll.
It's happening.
Just get to the next note in the octave, drum roll. Just a little more than $30,000. Incredible support. We're trying to get even higher than that tonight, and we hope you might be able to help us out. So no matter what you're able to give, know that all of it is going to make a difference for survivors, and it's much appreciated. At any time, if you feel inspired throughout the evening, just click on the donate button. It's the little cart button up in the corner of your screen there. Every gift is impactful for Safehouse Denver because they never charge for their services. For instance, a gift of $100 will provide a survivor with 3 group sessions. Some example group sessions are cultivating hope, financial empowerment, self-care, boundaries, and healthy communication, and so much more. Safehouse Denver consistently hears from survivors how impactful these groups are. The ability to learn from and listen to people in similar situations can be so empowering. As one recent client said, quote, "Never underestimate the power of being seen. It changed my life." Safehouse Denver is able to change the lives like this because of its dedicated staff, a caring community like you, and a committed board. So here to offer a few words is one of those board members, Danielle Vaughn.
Thank you, Steve and Kylie, for co-hosting tonight and for the kind introduction. Good evening. My name is Danielle Vaughn, and as a very proud board member of Safehouse Denver for the past 4 years, I support and continue advocating for others to join us in helping domestic violence survivors and their children reclaim their lives. I love the fact that contributions are distributed efficiently, with the focus on providing life-changing help for those impacted. As many of you are aware, Sampling for Hope was canceled last year due to the pandemic. It was another unfortunate casualty of the challenges we all faced in 2020. On behalf of my fellow board members, I'm thrilled that Safehouse Denver has brought this event back in an adjusted format, and I'm excited to welcome you all to tonight's live-streamed event. While so much has changed over the last year and a half, the mission of Safehouse Denver has never wavered. Despite all of the uncertainty, I'm proud of the Safehouse staff for adjusting to limited capacities, virtual counseling sessions, and increased need. Thanks to all of you, we are still here to support survivors as they reclaim their right to a life free from domestic violence. Tonight's event would not be possible without the hard work and support of many individuals and companies. I want to echo Steve and Kylie's thanks to tonight's sponsors and entertainment for their generosity. Additionally, please join me in sending a huge thanks to the steering committee who worked tirelessly since last November to ensure that we all have a great time tonight. These volunteers have given tons of time, treasure, and talent, and we couldn't be more grateful. Lastly, I want to thank you, our viewers, for being a part of tonight's event. Whether you've attended every Sampling for Hope since its inception in 2015, or tonight is your first one, we are excited to have you here and grateful for your support.
Danielle, thank you so much. And we're so grateful to all the work that Safehouse Denver has done for survivors, even with the challenges of this past year, when I think a lot of people, outside of Safehouse and outside of, any sort of abusive relationship, started to become a little bit more aware of just how dangerous of a situation that could be in a case like a pandemic, where you're stuck at home, where it's harder to call for help, where it's harder to reach out. So I feel like your services became even more important over the last year. And when a new resident, this is something that blows me away with some of the work that Safehouse does. There's the extended stay program that we've talked about. But when they move in, they're provided with everything that they need. They don't have to worry about anything. All they have to worry about is the healing and the processing. And so your gift of $250 will provide a family of 4 with 2 weeks worth of groceries as they move into the extended stay program. That's huge. I mean, something as simple as groceries, taking away these extra steps that they don't have to worry about so that they can focus on healing themselves and their families. And of course, you guys, you can click anytime on that right-hand part of your screen, click the button and donate. Think about $250, what that would mean to those families. Now, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce a very special video. As we've said, tonight is really all about supporting the survivors. And Kay is the true definition of a survivor. So here's her story, read by one of our staff members due to ongoing safety concerns, along with Simone Williams, the Extended Stay Program's case manager.
I was in an abusive relationship for a long time. I honestly thought that he was the love of my life. In the beginning, I didn't even notice that he was grooming me. He would do things like take my money out of my account and promise to pay it back, but he never did. Over time, he began to take more and more from me and eventually drained my entire life savings. He began to physically, psychologically, and emotionally abuse me. He would tell me that I was ugly, that I was worth nothing, and that I didn't deserve anything good to happen to me. His voice and his words became my inner voice. Things got to the point that I knew that if I didn't leave, he would kill me. I knew I had to come up with a plan to leave. I came up with a plan to wait until we had gone downtown to start an argument with him. I had to do it that way because he wouldn't do anything when other people were around. I started an argument and things escalated quickly. When the argument escalated, I ran away from him. I ran with everything in me because I knew if I didn't, I wouldn't make it out alive after this. I went back to the place we were staying to hurry and grab my things because I knew that that would be the first place he would come looking for me. From there, I had to run to the bus stop. The bus stop was far from where I was staying. It started to get late, and my body just couldn't run anymore. I knew I needed to rest in order to keep running, but I had no money to get a place to stay and had already gotten rid of my phone just in case he would track my location. So I had to sleep outside. I found a patch of grass, laid my clothes on the ground, and spent the night. I was absolutely terrified of sleeping outside because I literally had nothing to cover me or shelter me from the elements or the animals, but I knew I couldn't go back. I used some of the money to call a friend who offered to buy a bus ticket to come and stay with her in Colorado. When I arrived to Colorado, my friend didn't answer her phone, and I was stranded. I ended up selling a watch that I had in order to buy a phone so that I could call shelters in the area. I Googled shelters for women in Denver, and Safehouse Denver was the first shelter that popped up. The first time I called, they didn't have space, but they safety planned with me and gave me numbers to the other shelters to try and call. The second time I called, they still didn't have space available, but the advocate told me to keep calling and offered to safety plan with me if they ended up not having the space that day. The third time I called, they had space.
A lot of times when survivors arrive to the extended stay program, they have some type of employment or they have housing that they're hoping to see come through within the limited time here. But a lot of people are at a point where they're trying to digest everything that just happened. And so they're no longer in that crisis phase, but they're in that phase of trying to just understand what has happened, what's happening currently, and how to move forward. My name is Simone Williams. I am Safehouse Denver's Extended Stay Case Manager. ESP was created actually in response to just the reality that it's extremely difficult to find housing and see that housing come through within the limited amount of time that we can provide at shelter. And so the Extended Stay program provides unaccompanied individuals as well as families the additional opportunity to stay in a safe location to continue to work on those housing goals, sometimes their employment goals, in order to see that their housing can be attained.
When I applied for the extended stay program and found out that I was accepted, I was so excited. Walking into my apartment for the first time was a dream come true. The apartment was furnished and prepared just for me. I even had a blender. That was the first time in my life that I had a blender. If I had to describe my experience at ESP in 3 words, I would use the words life-changing, blessed, and sincere.
If we had to sum up what it means to triumph, it would be Kay. From the first moment I met her, and it was just identifying, is extended stay a good option? Right away we knew that she had something within her that it's just right where a survivor needs to be right before they begin their journey on their own. She full of life, just always willing to engage and ask questions, and that's not always where a survivor is in their journey, and that's okay. But she was just ready to jump in with both feet and heal and access resources and get the support that she needed. There's not words to explain just being able to witness the strength and determination and just empowerment that flourishes within survivors there's just words that I can't find words to explain just how honored I am to be alongside a survivor who just allows Safehouse and advocates here to come alongside their journeys, where a lot of them are afraid to engage in services because it's hard to trust after being abused by someone who you once loved. And so being able to see someone and honor wherever they are in their journeys is powerful.
Get out before it's too late. Step out on faith. That's what I would tell other survivors experiencing domestic violence. I know how scary it can be to trust people after going through domestic violence, but you are worth it. I had to take that leap, and that leap saved my life.
That was amazing of her to share her story. Steve, I think that a couple of things really stood out to me when I was listening to that. When she was first getting away, the fact that she couldn't have her phone because he might track her. I mean, it's things like that. Like you think it's so easy to call someone, but instead you have to sell a watch or whatever it may be in order to get that phone and be able to just get the help that you need. And the fact that it took a couple of times to even get into the shelter, Steve, I think is a really good indication of just how important these services are. We almost need more. It breaks my heart that this is kind of the option for people, but thank goodness that it's here.
I think so often when we think about domestic violence and we think about that word violence, we so often think of the physical, but what we miss is the financial, the other just aspects of power. Like, think about, there may not have been a physical chokehold in that situation, but the financial chokehold still sure was there, and the emotional one. I mean, think about having to escape basically overnight and having to run back to an apartment, load up all your stuff, try to get out of there before he comes home. It's harrowing. And the amount of courage it takes to do that is incredible. And then the amount of courage it takes to ask for help is also incredible. So once again, our thanks to Kay for sharing her story and to Simone for helping Kay through that process. We want to remind all of you, the story you just heard, that's the reason why we need your support tonight.
Absolutely. And so that's what a lot of this is going toward, is that extended stay program. So the average stays for a survivor last year was 4 months. And that was made possible by people like you who continue to show up even after an incredibly challenging year for everyone, who are still donating and making such a huge difference in this amazing community that we live in. It's more than just a safe place to stay. Safehouse Denver, it really helps survivors access resources. I mean, you think about the emotional state that you're in, having to try and navigate a very difficult system after that. That's what Safehouse is there for. They're there to walk you through it, navigate independent living, and then also process that trauma as well that they've endured, which is going to be a very long process. So that often happens through one-on-one advocacy sessions. And so if you give $500 tonight, you'll provide 6 of those sessions, which are absolutely life-changing. We heard from our survivor, the counseling, Steve, I mean, we both, and I hope this is okay to share, we both have talked about our experiences with therapy and how beneficial it can be. For a survivor to process that trauma, it is so crucial and so important toward taking that next step. It's not just about the physical. You know, we can get you a place to stay, a place to live, but it's also about getting you back to that healthy state of mind too.
Yeah, we talk about so often, again, about health as a physical thing. Health is so much more than a physical thing. Your mind, it is part of your body, and you need to keep that healthy too. And you think about trauma you experience physically through a situation like this. There's even more trauma in a situation mentally as you move forward, emotionally. How do you recover from something like that? That therapy and that help, that counseling is incredibly helpful in a situation like that. Your financial support means so much more than you know. Get this quote. A child resident at the extended stay program said back in 2020, quote, "My mommy's my superhero because she smiles and she helps me to smile. We used to not smile, but Safehouse Denver helped us smile again." Think about what your support does to put that smile back on that child's face, to take them out of a situation that's awful and to put them in a situation that's something a little bit more normal, maybe not quite normal, not what the child was used to, but it sure is going to help, and it's going to help heal. So let's continue to help survivors smile. If you haven't given yet, maybe you'll consider a gift of $50. Again, the button on the side of your screen. $50 is enough to provide 3 kiddos with access to an age-appropriate group session. Just as group sessions are vital for mom, the kiddos in Safehouse Denver services are just as impacted by these groups. So simply click the donate button right now. You can help 3 kids start to smile again. Remember, a donation of any size makes a huge difference. And we are currently at, let me get the latest number, we're over $31,000. $31,000, folks. How great is that? Can we get to 35? I'm a little bit greedy, but I'd love to get to 35, maybe $37,000, $38,000. How great would that be? I'm just going to keep going. I'll get all the way up to $100,000. We really appreciate your support. If you haven't seen an amount on your screen tonight that speaks to you, just know that every donation is impactful. Please dig deep and donate what you can to support survivors right now. Once you've made your final donation for tonight, you want to click the icon in the top right corner of your screen, see the silent auction items that you've won, any donations you've made, then you click the checkout button. We're all used to this. We've been ordering things from home for the last year and a half. Click the checkout button. I think it looks like a shopping cart. That will finalize your transaction. Gentle reminder, you do not click the complete payment or the checkout button, which I can't see the button right now, but I promise you'll know what it is. You'll know what it looks like. The card on file will be auto-charged for any winning auction items and packages at 1 p.m. tomorrow, but we'd appreciate it if you tried to check out tonight.
Absolutely. Steve, I'm so grateful that you introduced me to this organization a few years ago, because I'm so incredibly proud to be a part of events like this, the work that they do. And tonight's been amazing. It's been every year, every event that we do with Safehouse, it's always a reminder of this incredible work that they do. And for victims too, I always say this, I was talking to someone today, it's, when you go to events for Children's Hospital and whatnot, you hear from the families, you see them, they're right there. It's not that easy with victims of survivors of domestic violence, because their lives are still at risk. So the fact that Kay was willing to share her story, that we're able to share it in a way that's so impactful, I'm so grateful to her, to all the survivors who have stepped up and taken that next step, and then to Safehouse Denver, and of course to all of you who spent some time tonight on a Thursday, on a very hot summer night, who ordered from restaurants this week. Thank you to everyone. And thank you, Steve. It was so great being a part of this event with you.
Oh my God, it was so wonderful to see you, Kylie. And yes, by the way, June has returned. Summer is back in the home studio, because, man, I'm going to sweat through this shirt here in a minute. Kylie, you mentioned the things that this organization does. What drew me to this organization after years of reporting on awful incidents was seeing hope, right? We talk so often about the awful thing that happens, and then we move on, and we don't think about the solutions, and we don't think about how people tend to get help. And that's what drew me to this organization. And anyone who follows any bit of news in the last year or so understands what a big issue this is. Number one, with, as you mentioned earlier, Kylie, with the pandemic, so many people are trapped inside. We've all been home. I'm sure you've felt stress if you have a domestic partner. Just imagine if that situation is even worse to begin with, just that added stress of being in the same place with someone. And think about what a problem this is going to be moving forward. And then think about what your support tonight helps, or how that support helps people move forward and get into that extended stay program, get help. Tonight, an incredible show of support. So grateful to everyone for donating. Again, we're more than $31,000 tonight. We want to get higher. Doesn't end when we all get on out of here. If you were inspired this evening, you think others should be inspired too, share your thoughts on social media. Make sure to use the hashtag SafeHouseDenver and use the hashtag, or make sure to tag Safehouse Denver. I'm sorry. The internet's, they're hard for me sometimes. Make sure to tag Safehouse Denver and use the hashtag Sampling for Hope 2021. In closing, we want to leave you with the wonderful entertainment performed by Melly Francis and Keenan Koppel of Holla Raven. Enjoy it, and thank you again for your support. Have a great evening. We hope we'll see you in person next year.
Hi, we're Holla Raven, and this is a brand new song by Melly Francis called Worthwhile.